Hello and welcome to a smerdp video, and today we're looking at Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke vs Thanos. As a kid born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, I had some of these superhero games, so I'm very fond of some of them. This one for me, I'm mainly getting for Psylocke because most people know that I collect Marvel Legends X-Men. However, Thanos is a nice addition as well, and he looks pretty cool. I love the colors. So anyway, looking at the packaging, side nice Thanos there. On the back, you got a nice little score sheet. I do like this, how this is done. Armed with a psychic blades, the telepathic mutant Psylocke battles the mad titan Thanos. Nice and simple. And on this side, you have Psylocke. So let's get these figures out of the box. All right. So firstly, the Psylocke looks like a new body, which is fantastic. And I obviously will show her against the previous release, as well as a couple of other Psylockes that have been released over the years. So I'm just going to move Psylocke out of the way because I feel like there is more to Psylocke in terms of changing things than there is to Thanos. Thanos is probably very straightforward and very similar. I feel like it's a very similar release that we had a few years ago, but that head sculpt looks absolutely fantastic. It would be nice to have a second head sculpt, considering the price for these two. I mean, Thanos is, I guess, considered a deluxe figure or build-a-wave figure, so he's reasonably big. However, you know, you can tell that Hasbro will still try and milk you dry with some of these releases. So I love the colors. You know, you got this sort of dark orange going on. I think it really complements the blue. And then the other piece is obviously the clicky finger, which is very important on the gauntlet. So articulation wise, very simple. It can go around like so. Look up and down. You can't go around like that because you got this big piece here. But it does come up nicely. You can spin it there. You can swivel at the bend. He does have this single bend. And then you've got this movement on the wrist as well. But yeah, you could sort of get him into certain poses. But yeah, you're not going to get much from that. You got a ab crunch spin on the waist, but you do have the skirt here. The skirt does prevent real leg articulation, but if it's not there, we would be upset, right? Pinless double knee as well. And then lefty, righty, upsy, and a downsy. And that's pretty much it. Very simple. The thing with the gauntlet, it only goes on the left wrist as well. So we'll take this out very carefully and plug that in like so. And then we can get him clicking his finger like that, which that looks very cool. So there we go. So there is Thanos. Thanos is probably the very easy part of this. I have no idea in terms of Psylocke how we are going to get these katanas on. So let's do articulation. In fact, no, let's just have a quick closer look at it. So you got one head sculpt there, and I like it. It's got the real blend of how she took the body off Kawan. Well, I don't think she took it. She was given it, if I remember rightly. It's got a nice butterfly there, so you can get her in lots of poses. Arm can spin round. Has a double on there. Just remember, the female body is designed slightly weaker than men's, so just be careful how you look after that. Hang and go round, very nice. Swivel up there. And she does have an ab crunch, which is great. And then the buttocks does prevent, you can kick forward, but kicking back is a little bit difficult, which is a little bit frustrating, but considering she is a ninja, and we want her to be able to do lots of things. Lefty, righty, upsy, and a downsy. And then let's just look at that hair quickly. That hair looks very purple. So she has some really nice articulation. So accessory wise, so firstly we'll bring in the butterfly effects, which they've actually made sort of like glasses, which is very bizarre. I think that's just to get them middle of the head. It just sits like that. You can see there's only one side that's like glasses, which is interesting. Yeah, it doesn't really sit on there as well as what we've seen previously. Maybe it's because it's meant to go on the other one. No, yes. Yeah, it doesn't really sit on either of them. I'm trying to... Maybe there's a knack to this and it's just me. Anyway, we're just going to shove that on there. Get on there. If you can. That looks awful. Anyhow, nope, that's not on there. So did very well there. You've obviously got the side dagger, which I was always a big fan on, and this one looks very, very cool. Dig that. That is awesome. And the next bit I'm gonna do off camera in a minute because I feel like it could go terribly wrong, and I'm not entirely sure how these go on there. So you got these beautiful pieces, and I feel like they're meant to be like the katanas or an extended sai weapon. So she doesn't actually come with a katana at all. And then she has 2 hands, ninja hands or pointy fingers hands, and then she has a sort of open palm hand as well as the other head sculpt. So I'm going to put on the sai weapons on separately, and we can have a look at how that looks. All right, now this is when I get really excited, when I start seeing all different eras of Psylocke's coming together. So just in comparison, so you can see the difference between this and the 2018 figure already. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, definitely colors different. I think there are 2 color versions of this. I never ever got what was considered the variant, but this definitely is your new 90s Psylocke, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then we've got Mandarin, Lady Mandarin, we've got X-Force, and then we've got the golden blue Psylocke as well. And they've all got either katanas, butterfly effects, or the side daggers as well. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I think this looks absolutely fantastic. So that just leaves British Betsy to come out at some point. And hopefully that happens soon. Especially the fact that we're getting Excalibur Rachel Summers as well. Or Rachel Grey, however you want to name her this month. And so definitely... hopefully one that we get very, very soon. But yeah, this is very, very cool. And it wouldn't be a sort of X-Men review if I didn't get Psylocke with some X-Men. So here she is as part of the Blue Team, which is very 90s era, which from the comics, but also from the animated show. I think a lot of people came in due to that show as well. That's how I originally got into it, and then started reading comics, and you know, never stopped. So there we go. These look absolutely fantastic together as a team. I'm very, very chuffed to include Psylocke in there. So even though I am terrible with stands, I think I've managed to get Psylocke into a good enough position where she is using these beautiful side blades on Thanos. The fight is still open for debate, so let me know in the comments on who you think wins. But yeah, these 2 figures are amazing. I'm really glad I had it because Psylocke is obviously like similar to Rogue, becomes very popular and then just seems to sell out. But I've seen people have been collecting well, people have been grabbing them for their friends, which is great. I know that there's still a few places in the UK that you can get these. I think last time I saw Comics and Cocktails was one of them. But yeah, don't give in to the scalpers either. That bugs me like it probably bugs a lot of collectors, because all we want to do is we want to collect and enjoy the figures that we've got and do cool things like this. So anyway, hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for those subscribed already. Thank you for watching. Make sure you look after yourself, and as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.